Today, we're diving into the tales of superstars who once lit up the court but have since fallen into complete oblivion. From gut-wrenching declines due to injuries to shocking falls from grace, these players didn't just fade away, they proved just how quickly the game can shift. Stick around as we unravel these shocking twists that sealed the fates of these former fan favorites, and the last name on this list might just shock you. Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas stepped into the NBA as an underdog, overlooked and doubted by everyone around him. But instead of letting the criticism get to him, he transformed it into fuel, igniting a fire that would make him one of the league's most electrifying players, at least for a time. In 2015, he was runner-up for 6th Man of the Year, but by 2016, he wasn't just in the conversation, he was an all-star. Fast forward to 2017, and he's on the All-NBA second team, officially locking down his spot with the league's elite. During this epic run, Isaiah Thomas was straight up unstoppable, becoming the go-to clutch performer for the Celtics, empowering them to a 53-win season. In the playoffs, he was nothing short of legendary, carrying Boston on his back all the way to the conference finals. But just when it felt like he was about to reach that next level, disaster hit. A brutal hip injury took him out just 2 games in and marked the beginning of his tragic downfall. The offseason that followed was a harsh reality check. Despite everything Thomas had done for the Celtics, they traded him to the Cleveland Cavaliers, a move that felt like a slap in the face. The lingering hip injury only made things worse. By the time he finally hit the court in January, it was clear he wasn't the same. That lightning-fast quickness? Gone. His deadly shooting? Off. And defensively, he became a serious weak spot, forcing the Cavs to scramble. After just 15 games, they shipped him off again, this time to the Los Angeles Lakers. In LA, the struggles didn't stop. Thomas barely made it through 17 games before his body gave in, forcing him to undergo hip surgery. It was a far cry from where he stood just 3 seasons earlier, a legit MVP contender and All-NBA star on the verge of securing a massive multi-year deal. Now, teams weren't even offering him anything more than a minimum 1-year contract. The Denver Nuggets rolled the dice on him, but by the 2018-19 season, he was still nowhere close to a comeback. Then came February 8th, 2020, and things took another turn for the worse. After only playing 14 games with the Nuggets, he was sidelined again. The offseason saw him move to the Washington Wizards, where he started 37 of 40 games, but the downward spiral continued as he bounced around. He was eventually traded to the Los Angeles Clippers, only to be waived immediately. It's almost unreal how fast Isaiah Thomas's fall from grace happened. Just 3 seasons ago, he was at the top, an all-star, MVP candidate, and a key player. Now, he's out of the league entirely. His most recent opportunity, a 10-day contract with the Phoenix Suns in 2024. But even that leaves his future hanging in the balance, proving once again how a slight injury in the NBA can ruin your future. And nobody understands the cost of injuries better than Kemba Walker. The 2010s were a game-changer era for basketball, fast-paced and offense-first. And in this new era, Kemba Walker stood out. At just 6 feet tall, he was the perfect fit for the modern game, with blazing speed, crazy handles, and deadly jumps. After making waves at UConn, Kemba struggled early with the Charlotte Bobcats, a team that soon disappeared. But after knee surgeries and tough playoff runs, he broke through. From 2017 to 2020, Walker earned 4 straight All-Star nods, and his run with the Hornets marked the peak of his career. When Kemba Walker signed with the Boston Celtics after Kyrie Irving's chaotic exit, the hopes were sky high. Fans thought Kemba would be the missing piece to push the Celtics into title contention, but reality hit hard. Injuries, especially to his left knee, started to pile up, and though Walker is only 34, the years of grinding on the court took a serious toll on his once electric game. After 2 forgettable stints with the New York Knicks and the Dallas Mavericks, Kemba made a surprising pivot. He signed with Monaco, heading overseas, and that was it for the former NBA star, who disappeared from the limelight before announcing his retirement in 2024. Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard was once a nightmare for every team facing him, a true powerhouse on the court. But how did this 8-time All-Star and 3-time Defensive Player of the Year suddenly slip from the spotlight? To find out, we need to go back to 2004. When the Orlando Magic selected Dwight Howard as the first overall pick in the 2004 NBA draft, it raised eyebrows. Critics believed that UConn's Emeka Okafor was the safer choice after a stellar college career, but Howard quickly silenced the doubters. He burst onto the scene, averaging a double-double, 12 points and 10 rebounds during his rookie year, setting records as the youngest player to reach impressive milestones in the league. In his second season, Howard transitioned from forward to full-time center, continuing his ascent by averaging 16 points and 12 12 rebounds. He became a rising star, earning awards even as the Magic struggled to make the playoffs during his first 2 seasons. But with a stronger roster around him in his 3rd year, Howard's influence became undeniable. He earned his first All-Star nod, claimed the Defensive Player of the Year award, and delivered jaw-dropping plays that left fans and analysts buzzing. His 4th year was even better, but despite his impressive resume, the Magic struggled to maintain their postseason success. Frustration boiled over for Howard, leading him to demand a trade to a contender. Tensions with the Magic's front office reached a breaking point, resulting in awkward press conferences and rumors of tension in the locker room. Sure, he broke the franchise scoring record, but the lack of direction left him feeling empty. As time passed, the league and fans sort of forgot about Howard's incredible contributions, and his departure from Orlando was the beginning of the end. Hassan Whiteside. Former Miami Heat center Hassan Whiteside officially announced his retirement from basketball after a remarkable 10-year NBA journey. Whiteside was a force to be reckoned with during the 2015 to 2019 era. During his incredible stint with the Heat, he averaged a jaw-dropping 14.1 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 2.4 blocks per game, shooting a sizzling 57.5% from the field. Just think about that for a second. He was an absolute beast on both ends of the floor. Not only did he dominate the paint, but he also led the league in blocks and earned a spot on the all-defensive second team. After his time with Miami, Whiteside took his talents around the league, playing for the Sacramento Kings, Utah Jazz, and Portland Trail Blazers. But with the hype of new talent that was emerging, he just couldn't keep up. Eventually, Hassan made the decision to join the Pirates of Quebradillas in Puerto Rico's BSN League, before recently announcing on Instagram that he was stepping away from the game. The post revealed that he informed the management of the Pirates of Quebradillas that he wouldn't be returning, marking the end of his basketball journey. But while Hassan made the official announcement, DeMarcus Cousins still has hope of a comeback. DeMarcus Cousins was once the dazzling centerpiece of the Sacramento Kings, but since his last appearance in the league during the 2021-22 season with the Denver Nuggets, he slipped into the shadows of NBA history. Drafted 5th overall in 2010, Cousins is often called the best center in Kings history. Over his 7 years in Sacramento, he averaged 21.1 points, 10.8 rebounds, and 3 assists, earning 3 All-Star selections and cementing his status as one of the game's elite big men. But then, tragedy struck in January 2018 when DeMarcus Cousins suffered a devastating torn Achilles. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, he tore his ACL in August 2019, sidelining him for an entire year and forcing him to confront a grueling road to recovery. Despite his incredible talent, these injuries derailed his career, preventing him from reclaiming the dominance he once had. In a recent interview with Ciro Aseo de Shock of Hoops Hype, Cousins opened up about his departure from the NBA, saying, "I know I've had my time there." He acknowledged that his 12 years in the league were just a chapter in his life. "I'm excited for what I have ahead," he added, hinting at the exciting future that awaits him beyond the hardwood. Now, at 34 years old, Cousins has turned to international play, joining the Taiwan Beer Leopards in the T1 League after a stint with the Mets de Guaynabo in Puerto Rico, thus ending his reign in the NBA. Lastly, we have Lance Stephenson. Lance Stephenson's best moments in the NBA came during his time with the Indiana Pacers, where he set career highs in points, 13.2, rebounds, 7.2, and assists, 4.6 per game in the 2013-2014 season. Even in his last stint with the Pacers in 2021-22, he averaged 9.3 points, 3.9 assists, both above his career averages. Known for his entertaining on-court antics like blowing in LeBron James' ear during the 2014 Eastern Conference Finals, he quickly became a fan favorite in Indiana, even enjoying 3 different stints with the franchise. But over the years, he's fallen behind the competition. After a decade in the league, Stephenson found himself playing for Leones de Ponce in Puerto Rico. Reflecting on his journey, he admits, "I definitely miss the NBA now that I'm playing in Puerto Rico. I did not want to leave. My goal right now is to get back in there and show them that I am born ready." His last NBA action came in the 2021-22 season with the Pacers and Hawks, but he hasn't found a spot in the league since. Despite this setback, he's optimistic, saying, "I don't feel like it was a personal jab towards me to no longer be in the NBA. There are a lot of great players, so it is okay because I know it is just another chance." At 34, he's now in the G League with the Iowa Wolves, mentoring younger players while showcasing his talent. Which of these players' falls from grace shocked you the most? Let me know in the comments, and if you thought these were bad, wait till you see the next video, because trust me, it's about to get even crazier. Click on the video on screen now, and don't forget to follow for a taco.